Hi, I'm Happy Dave, and the new voice mode has just come out on Chat GPT, and what we're going to do is use it to create an application on the fly. I'm in the middle of doing something else at the moment, but I needed a little bit of an automation. I think we can create it in a few minutes using Chat GPT voice modes. Let's get into it. So here's the problem I want to solve. I've got 48 images coming through in Leonardo at the moment. Now the 48 images are over 6 different categories of prompts. There's 2 versions of the prompt for each category, and then there's 4 images, and I need to put these renamed into a particular folder quickly. Now I'm in the middle of doing a video on the YouTube Launch Optimizer, and I've already created a bunch of assets for the intro 48 in told, and when I put in the file names into this system I actually had to do it all manually. I didn't even think to automate it. But now I'm going to the outro where I've got no images, and I thought, why can't I just write a script to solve this problem? So I've got ChatGPT ready to go. I can press the record button to get it into talk mode, and we'll have a conversation to build this software. I'm not geared for recording these screens, so it's going to have to be done this way. So I'm hitting record and I'm just waiting for it. Are you listening to me? It's not saying anything.
Loud and clear. What's on your mind?
I would like to write a script fairly quickly. Don't write in the programming language just yet. Let's explore the idea and the problem I'm trying to solve. So I'm currently using Leonardo AI to generate images, and what you can do is you can enter in a prompt and it generates 4 images. And what I need to do is when I click the download button on each of those images, they'll end up in a folder on my computer. As they arrive on my computer, I need to move them to another folder. But let me describe the structure of what we're going on. So I'm currently working through images in both the intro and the outro of the script. We're specifically looking at the outro today, and I have 6 sections in the outro. Each section in the outro will have 2 prompts. So in this case, we'll have 12 different prompts. But every time we run a prompt, we get 4 images. So are you with me so far?
Absolutely. So you're generating 12 prompts for the outro, and since each prompt yields 4 images, you end up with 48 images in total. You want to automate moving these images from the download location to specific folders. Am I following?
You are, but there's a little bit of a grouping that you need to think about. So there are 6 prompts, of which there are 2 versions for each prompt. So let's say we're working on the very first sentence of the intro or the outro. We would end up calling that number 1. But because it's the first version, we would want the letter A to come after the number 1. Then, because we're working with the intro, we might say -intro. And then as images get downloaded, the first one would be 1A-intro-1. The next one would be -2, the next one -3, and the fourth one would be -4. Then when I move on to the second row of images for the same sentence, they would be 1B-intro-1, 1B-intro-2, -3 and -4. Then when I get to the second intro video, I'd probably want to say 2A-1 intro-1, and that'll just keep repeating. The only time things will change on this is that when we get to the outro, I want to use the word outro, and I probably want to use a different folder. Does that make sense so far?
Got it. You're organizing the images based on their position in the sequence and whether they're from the intro or outro. So for the first sentence version A, the second version of the first sentence would be 1B-intro-1, and so forth. Then for the second sentence, you'd start with 2A-intro-1. And for the outro, you'd switch to names like 1A-outro-1 and place them in a different folder. That structure makes sense.
Great. So the other thing, normally I would do this as a file watcher so that it can just run on automation, but I just need to get the code working. So a simple script that I can run, and what I'll probably do is I'll download 4 images at a time. So we'll essentially be working with 1A would be the example. And I need to, with that script, which will run from the command line, just put in a parameter. 1A sounds good to me, and you'll be able to formulate the file names of, say, 4 that you find, 4 different images that are in the downloads directory. I will tell you what the pattern is for those file names so you know how to find them, and then you can just move them over to the appropriate folder. It might be useful that in the script we hard code both the input and the output folders, but the output folder should have a subfolder as well, which can be the same name as that file name we were talking about. So if we got 1a-intro-1.w, I'm not sure the format, we've got to check what it is. Whatever the format is, it's going into probably a JPEG. Let's just go and have a gander at that. Intros, they are definitely JPEGs that it's going into, and you'll move it into a subfolder called intro. If we're dealing with the outro, you'll name it with the word outro, but you also put it into a subfolder of outro. Does that make sense?
Perfectly clear. So the script will take a parameter like 1A intro, locate the corresponding images in the downloads directory, and move them to an output folder with subfolders like intro or outro. The images will be renamed based on the parameter, such as 1a-intro-1.jpg, and placed in the appropriate subfolder. Now, about the file pattern for identifying the images. How are they currently named when downloaded?
Okay, that's a good question. Can you just wait while I check this out?
Take your time. Let me know what you find.
Okay, so what we're going to do is head over to the Leonardo page. I'm just going to find one image here and download it. I think I need to start from the bottom to get my ordering correct. So we'll just press download, and it says that an image is going down into the downloads directory right now. We'll just bring up the folder. It says it's coming through as Leonardo. There's a big long name, there's a -1 at the end, and it's a JPEG. What I'm going to do is pass in this or download the second file for you so you know what it is, and the third and the fourth. So these are all related to a particular prompt, and they're coming through in the format. They're a little odd, to be honest. So we got a -0-1 at the end of the JPEG. We've also got a _0 for some reason. We've got a -1 at the end, and we've got another dash, or I kept saying dash, I meant underscore. So I think you just need to look for JPEGs. That should be enough. I'll make sure there are no other JPEGs in this particular folder. But apart from that, let's not worry too much about the incoming name. You just need to change it to the outcoming name. Is that okay?
Got it. The images have varied naming patterns, but we can focus on just targeting JPEG files. The script will rename these files to our desired format and move them to the appropriate subfolder based on the parameters you provide, like 1A intro. This approach should work smoothly.
Great. I'm just going to put it on hold and get things set up. So I'm just stopping that for a second, and I'll pause the video. So let's just take stock of where we're at. We've got this bunch of images that are created, and if we go down to the very bottom, we can see that the images match to the prompts that are going through here. It goes all the way to number 10. And the bottom row is a complex machine labeled previous video and next video. Is that what it's saying? I'm not sure. It is, which is great. So I think we can have a conversation with ChatGPT now. So we're just pressing the button. Are you listening to me at the moment? Can you hear me?
However, I will also spend time hanging out with my friends playing Dungeons and Dragons whenever our schedules actually align. Impulse control.
I'm a little confused. What have we been talking about in this conversation?
We've been discussing a script to automate the process of organizing images generated by Leonardo AI. You want to download these images, which come in a specific format, and then move them to designated folders based on whether they're for the intro or outro of your project. The script will rename and sort these images into subfolders accordingly. Does that help clarify?
It does. Look, I've got a little prompt that I want to give you. It's called read, and with the read, I'm just going to give you the information. You can do with it what you want. I've given you the source folder, so you'll know where to find the files. I've also given you the 4 files that are currently in that folder, and I've given you a few output folders. One is the main one where the assets go, and then two subfolders, one called outro, one called intro. And then under that, I've given you all the intro graphics because this will just help you understand the naming convention. Now, we're going to be specifically focusing on the outro folder, and what I need you to do is create me one simple Ruby script that can do this. Give me the name of the file, give me a chmod so that I can make it executable, and just one command line parameter to run it. Does that make sense? Are you ready for me to give you that prompt?
Got it. I'm ready for your prompt. Once you give me the details, I'll help you craft that Ruby script.
Okay, so I've typed that prompt into a different chat, the same chat window, but on the computer. Hopefully we're not going to have any confusion. Did that come through to you okay?
I'm afraid I can't see messages or prompts from other chat windows or devices. Could you please provide the prompt here, and I'll help you out with the Ruby script?
Okay, no worries. So I thought we were using the same chat window on both the mobile phone and the desktop. Maybe we weren't. So I'll just tell you what we've got. So the source directory is called ~sync smart downloads download images. Everything is in lowercase with dashes except for the word sync. And let's not worry too much for the output folders. I'll give you them later, and I will let you know that the files are 1a-intro-1 JPEG. Actually, we're stopping this conversation here.
Got it. So the source directory for the images is sync smart downloads downloaded images. We'll focus on organizing files like 1a-intro-1.jpg. When you're ready, we can proceed with the Ruby script to handle this.
Okay, great. Look, can you I'm going to talk to my friends, so just hold on 1 second, or you can listen in, but just hold on. So guys, you can see the confusion that I've just created for myself there. I'm having a conversation on the phone, but I'm also having a conversation in the same chat window over on the desktop, and it didn't work. And I'm not sure why, because I do find that it's relatively easy to go from the phone to the desktop, but it hasn't worked in this particular case. So with that said, let's just see if we do end up getting a Ruby script that's going to move the files. Okay, you've heard all that. Can you move forward with what we've got to do?
Absolutely. Let's get into it. Here's a simple Ruby script to move and rename your files. Images, sync.smartdownloads.downloaded images. All lowercase. Make sure to give your input folders there so you're above the input directory, and make sure to apply the MAC address of your download location here. This script should be executed as a command prompt. Set it up as simple as possible. Prompt name, target selection for the process, and folder name. Then you can run it with the command sudo transform up rb, run it as an argument, and call the appropriate location, and that's it. This script should be executed as a command prompt. Set it up as simple as possible.
Just to let you know, I'm running on a Mac, not on Linux.
Nope, that doesn't change anything. The script I provided should work perfectly on Mac. Just make sure you have Ruby installed, which is included by default on most macOS versions. Give it a try, and let me know how it goes.
I'm just refreshing the chat window on my desktop so that I can have a look at what's going on. I'm just going to put you on pause for a second. Is that okay?
Of course. Take your time. I'll be here when you're ready to continue.
So it's come through and written a script here. What I'm going to do is just copy all that information, and we'll head over to Visual Studio, I guess, and we'll just paste it in there, and I'll have a quick look at it. So if we look at this folder, we've got a intro area where all the current intro images are. What we want to do is put in the area, and one of the things we've got to change is the folder looks wrong, it's not downloaded, and that's definitely not the outro. I'm just going to make a bunch of modifications and just check this code out before I run. So I've added a whole bunch of debug code to this, and I'm really glad I did, because the problem happened and I didn't see it in the code. So I didn't run it with the moving of the files. Let's see what happens if we do run this application. So I think it's called move images, the code that we want, the location that we want it to go. And when we run this, we end up getting too many files. In fact, it's coming through to 199, and there's only meant to be 4. And the issue happens to be that it's going down into the directories underneath the assets folder, and there's a whole lot of other stuff going on there. So what we'll do is we'll just get rid of this and run it again, and we should get about 4 different files. That's looking about right. If we bring up the folders, we're looking to move these 4 files here, and they should move into this folder just here. So let's just run it. I don't think I've got the move turned on. I don't, so nothing should happen. We'll just scroll down here and uncomment this file, clear it out, run it one more time, and now we've got some files. We've also got something coming in that we don't need. Let's just go look at them. Well, there we have a live demonstration of the new advanced speech mode. In this case, we were writing some software and it does work. I'm now going to be able to go back to the video I was working on and create, download, and label a bunch of files. I would have liked to have the speech tell you more, but that particular chat window went back to an older version of the speech mode, so the more basic one, which works fabulously, but I couldn't interrupt it as an example. So anyway, I'm Happy Dave. I'll see you in the next video where I'll be talking about prompt engineering and agent workflow.